So breaking news, guys. Beginning of October 2025, they are going to be sending out letters letting you know that you have about 60 to 90 days to evacuate if you are on Section 8 longer than 2 years. This is going to start 2026. So Trump has tried to reject this program as many times as he wanted to, but it's not being rejected. But they did say that you cannot be on Section 8 longer than 2 years going forward, starting 2026. So if you are on Section 8 currently and you have been on there for more than 2 years and you're not elderly, you will have to get off, and you have 60 to 90 days to find somewhere to move. So starting 2026, they are going to be opening some Section 8 vouchers for us to get on there, but it's requirements. So yeah, you can go look that up. It's real.
All right, y'all, we need to talk because the internet is absolutely losing its mind, spreading these wild rumors that are scaring the hell out of millions of families. The big one, a so-called 2-year eviction clock for Section 8. The rumor is that if you're an able-bodied adult on rental assistance, a 2-year countdown is about to start. And when it hits 0, you're out on the street. It sounds terrifying. It sounds urgent. But the most important question is it even true? So look, in this video, we're about to get into all of it. We're going to separate the facts from the foolishness. We'll dig into where these rumors of a 2-year time limit are coming from, what the government's budget proposals actually say, and get into the real policy changes to Section 8 that you absolutely need to know about right now. Now, this is not about adding to the panic. It's about giving you the truth so that you can prepare for what's really coming.
Let's talk about facts when it comes to 2-year Section 8 housing. As of right now, the 2-year time limit on Section 8 housing assistance is only a proposal. You hear me, for all you trolls? It is only a proposal. It has not been passed into law. Okay, here's what we know. The Trump administration included the 2-year limit in its FY 2026 budget proposal, fiscal year 2026. It would apply to households with able-bodied adults, excluding the elderly and disabled. The proposal has passed a House committee, but still needs to be approved by both House and Senate. If passed, the earliest it can take effect is October 1st, 2025. Let's go over important clarifications, okay? No executive order has been signed to enforce this yet. There's viral posts claiming it's already in law. They are all false. You hear me? They're false. HUD has not released implementation about details such as when the clock is going to start, how exemptions would be defined, and what happens after the 2 years are up. We don't have any of that information. When will we know for sure? So Congress must finalize the FY 2026 budget by September 30th, 2025 to avoid government shutdown. If the time limit is not included in the final budget, HUD will likely issue a guidance and time list in November 2025. If Congress rejects the proposal, it will now become a law. Very important. Also, if Congress passes a CR, the final vote on the HUD budget can be delayed until late October or even January 2026. If no agreement is made, we know that a government shutdown could begin after September 30th. The Section 8 time limit will not take effect unless full budget is passed with that provision included. So for everyone spreading and fear-mongering, we don't know what's going to happen. September looks like it might be a busy month at the end of September. I know in my heart that they are not going to pass this so quickly. It is impossible that this is going to pass. I'm telling you now, I just feel it.
Okay, so first things first, let's talk about this 2-year time limit mess. Now, the idea is that any able-bodied adult on Section 8 would get their assistance cut off after just 24 months. Now, this ain't a new idea. It's been floating around in certain political circles for years, pushed by people who argue it would force folks to be self-sufficient. In fact, a recent budget proposal for fiscal year 2026 from the Trump administration does include a plan to basically blow up the current rental assistance programs and replace them with a new state-run program that would have a 2-year limit for most people, except for the elderly and the disabled. This is where all of the fear is coming from. And yeah, it's based on a real proposal. At a congressional hearing back in June 2025, HUD secretly Scott Turner straight up said that housing assistance isn't meant to be forever and argued for time limits to fix what he called a broken system. Research from places like New York University shows a strict 2-year limit could put over 1 million households, many with working parents and kids, at risk of losing everything. Some analysis even shows that about 70% of families with work-able adults have already been on assistance for more than 2 years. So a new rule like this could cause chaos. But, and this is the part you really need to hear, a proposal is not a law. Now, these ideas are just part of a budget request sent to Congress. This same budget wants to slash HUD's funding by a mind-blowing 43 to 44% and get rid of programs like the Housing Choice Voucher Program entirely, replacing them with lump sum payments to states. Now, this would completely change the game, letting each state make up its own rules. But Congress has to actually vote on it and approve it. As of right now, these crazy changes, including that 2-year time limit, have not been passed into law. They're a wish list, a political statement, not the reality for you or your landlord.
He did not sign an executive order for a 2-year ban on Section 8. We as Americans, we need to stop listening to illusory truth effect and start finding out real information, not from social media. You can live in Section 8 as long as you qualify for that voucher. And don't be Drew Jenkins. Don't move people into your home just so you can get some nana and a free babysitter, and always turn in your income. And for those that don't know what illusory truth effect is, I will explain it to you the best that I can. It is a cognitive bias where a false statement is spread to make it sound credible and appear to be true. This often happens when things seem familiar to people. So people are associating him with doing a bunch of devious things. So they would think, well, why wouldn't he do that? He did not. Have the day you deserve.
Hey, quick interruption. We're talking about income and financial security today, and that brings me to a crucial point. If you're looking for ways to build an income stream that you control, one that isn't dependent on tenants or housing regulations, then you need to hear this. I've been using a platform called Wealthy Affiliate to build and grow online businesses from the ground up. It's a powerful community and training platform that teaches you everything that you need to know about affiliate marketing step by step. It's perfect for beginners or anyone looking to create more financial freedom for themselves. I truly believe it can change your financial future, and I want you to have the chance to see it for yourself. I've left a link for you to check out Wealthy Affiliate. It's pinned right at the top of the comment section below. Click that link to learn more and start for free. All right, now let's get back to the video. So while the threat is real and the proposals are official, that eviction clock has not started ticking. Not yet. So if it's not even a law, why is everybody and their mama panicking? Because it strikes right at the heart of the affordable housing crisis. Let's be real. For millions of families, Section 8 is a lifeline. The average family on the Housing Choice Voucher Program stays for about 6.6 years. And many stay longer because their income just hasn't caught up to the insane cost of rent. In a lot of cities, the waiting list to even get a voucher is 5, 10, sometimes 15 years long. The program is already so underfunded that it only helps about 1 out of every 4 families who qualify. And that is the context that makes this 2-year limit so terrifying. It's not just policy talk. For a family, it feels like a countdown to homelessness. For a landlord, it messes with the stability of a program they rely on. The idea of capping help at 2 years just ignores the reality that the average stay is more than 3 times that long. It pretends that people can just graduate from needing help in 24 months. But we know that's not how it works. In fact, most of the local housing agencies that tried time limits in the past ended up ditching them because they were a mess to manage and didn't actually help families get on their feet, especially where rent is sky high. The political game here is this old, tired debate about government help. The people pushing for it say time limits will stop people from depending on the system. Secretary Turner even said the goal is to help people achieve self-sufficiency, but the other side is saying, hold up, this is just cruel. They argue you can't bet against working families who are already struggling. Stable housing is a foundation you need to get and keep a job, not some prize you get afterward. Pulling the rug out from under families could cause a whole chain reaction of disaster, from messing up a kid's education to making public health worse. That's why this isn't just some little tweak. This whole 2-year limit idea is a total philosophical shift, trying to change housing assistance from a source of long-term stability to just temporary, conditional help. This whole 2-year limit idea is a total philosophical shift, trying to change housing assistance from a source of long-term stability to just temporary, conditional help. Okay, so while everyone's distracted by this big, scary what if something major has already happened, and it affects you whether you're a tenant or a landlord, you need to know about this like yesterday. As of January 13, 2025, HUD finalized a new rule that changes how evictions for not paying rent work. Listen up, because this part is important. This new rule says that public housing agencies and landlords in certain federally subsidized properties have to give tenants a written 30-day notice before they can even think about filing for eviction in court over unpaid rent. This is a big deal. Before, depending on your state, they could hit you with the notice that was as short as 10 or 14 days. Now, every single tenant in a covered property has a federally protected 30-day window to get it together. They can't even give you the notice until the day after your rent was due. And if you pay what you owe within those 30 days, the landlord can't move forward with the eviction. The rule is all about preventing evictions. It gives you more time to figure things out, whether that's scraping the rent together, finding emergency help, or getting your income recertified if it dropped. The notice itself has to spell out exactly how much you owe, how you can fix it, and how to ask for a hardship exemption. For us tenants, this is a serious new protection. It's a buffer that keeps a temporary slip up from turning into a full-blown catastrophe. It makes the rules the same across the country, getting rid of that confusing mess of different notice periods. Now, for my landlords out there, this means that you have to get your paperwork in order. You can't send out that notice early. You can't file in court until day 32 at the earliest, and only if the rent is still unpaid. The rule went into effect in January 2025, but HUD gave housing authorities and property owners up to 14 to 18 months to get everything updated. So while it's a law, it might not be fully implemented everywhere just yet, but it's coming. Don't get caught slipping and have your case thrown out of court. So while everyone is talking about a hypothetical 2-year clock, this 30-day eviction notice rule is the real immediate change that's in effect today. It's less flashy, but it has a direct impact on your rights and responsibilities right now. Okay, so with all this tea, the scary proposals, the political drama, and the real rule changes, what do you do now? Let's break it down for both tenants and landlords. First off, just breathe. Stop panicking about the 2-year time limit. Like we said, it is a proposal, not a law. Your housing assistance is not ending in 2 years under any current rule. Second, you had better know your rights. That new 30-day eviction notice rule is your shield. If you've ever late on your rent, know you have a federally protected 30-day period to sort it out before they can take you to court. This is your time to communicate and get help and make a move. Third, talk to your people. Communication is your best weapon. If your income drops, you report it to your public housing authority immediately to get your rent adjusted. Don't wait until you're already behind. Stay on good terms and follow your lease. And finally, get your information from sources you can trust. The rumors are going to keep flying, so focus on official announcements from HUD and people who break down the facts and not the fear. For landlords and investors, your main priority needs to be getting your legal house in order. Make sure your lease agreements and your internal processes are 100% compliant with the new 30-day notice rule for non-payment of rent. The effective date was January 2025, so if you haven't started updating your process, you are behind. Keep your records perfect. Your 30-day notices have to include all the required information, like how the tenant can fix the problem, or you risk showing up to court just to have your case tossed out. As for the big picture, understand that while the administration's proposals to switch to block grants and time limits would be a huge shakeup, the Section 8 program is still running for now. These are long-term political fights, not overnight flips. The stability of getting that guaranteed rent check from the Housing Choice Voucher Program still makes it a good deal for a lot of investors. The key is to just stay informed on how these budget fights in Congress are going. All right, so let's bring it out home. That Section 8 two-year eviction clock is a powerful, scary idea that's rooted in a real budget proposal, but it is not the law today. It's a political goal that, if it ever passes Congress, would completely change housing assistance in America. The actual major policy change that is happening right now is a new 30-day notice requirement for evictions over unpaid rent. That rule gives tenants real new protections and means landlords have to change how they do things. In a world full of fear and fake news, focusing on the real rules is the best thing that you can do for yourself. The world of affordable housing policy is messy and always changing. To stay ahead of the rumors and get clear, fact-checked updates on what's really going on, you already know what to do. Subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. And I'll keep tracking the budget fights and policy changes to bring you the information that you need to protect yourself and your investment. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.